So, what is something that has stood out to you recently that has captured the essence of feminine glory?
Okay, this is a great question. I really do appreciate this. So I have one daughter and four sons. And so I had a friend recommend that I read George Gilder's Men in Marriage in conjunction with like Theophilus Lightheart's Glory of Man.
Okay.
One for the theology and one for the application. And so I started reading those because my four sons are kind of like, like 15, 13, they're at that age of manhood. And so then I started listening to the introductory and first podcast of Pastor Rich Lusk and Pastor Bill Smith with the podcast is called Collars and Calluses, and it's actually on biblical masculinity.
Okay.
So they made and I think that a lot of what they're saying kind of overlaps with what I was reading in these books and just the initial chapters even. And but the thing that they said that I thought was very interesting is they're just kind of giving an introduction is that the most true form of masculinity cannot be had outside of the presence of a woman, right? And that's part of a created order, right? God saw man and saw that it wasn't good, like there was not a helpmeet suitable for him, and I think in that what they were saying is that there actually needed to be a woman for him to fulfill who he was supposed to be as a man, and so and what he was called to do and be. And so I think that the reverse is also true. Our feminine glory is most evident or most truly seen in relation to man, not separate from it. And, part of what they were saying is with this whole battle of the sexes, the feminist movement and all the different waves, and then this idea of the battle of the sexes and women and men being in opposition to each other, like we are at war, it's created the wrong narrative where women think that they can be women independent of men. But no, actually our glory is really evident in relation to man, specifically our husbands, right? But also in how men and women work together. We're not at odds with each other. We're made and created to work in tandem and in order with each other. So they bring something to the table, we bring something to the table. So the other way that this could be said, or what I think about it, Becca Merkel came down and did a talk, maybe like a year ago, and she was talking about, the idea of a man and a woman, husband and a wife, being on a trampoline. And when you jump on a trampoline with someone, it's like a lot of fun, and you can you can accentuate someone's bounce, right? Like you've been, how to actually, they're bouncing and you know how to work it in the right timing where you magnify, you double their bounce, right? You give them more elevation, more height, right? And then that they with you, right? But you also know how to steal someone's bounce, right?
Yes.
You can time your landing on the trampoline or how you bounce so that it takes away from the height of the other person's, right? You guys have been on trampolines before, right? And I just have not forgotten that. I think that is a great idea or way of looking at feminine glory. Are we like magnifying or doubling our husband's capability, ability, the work he has been called to do? Are we in who we are being as wives or what the woman in his life, allowing him to do more, allowing him that work to be magnified, and anybody watching, or it doesn't draw away from a woman to be the one giving the bounce, because the person being bounced knows that the bounce is happening, that height, that achievement, that glory is coming from because of the person doing the work to double that. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're not lacking in glory. There's a lot of gratitude, and then he can bounce you too. You know what I'm saying? But you're working together and you're not working in opposition. We all do see, and I hope you haven't really, but as time goes on, you can also see wives who like steal their husband's bounce. That is not good. You can see little examples of that. But we don't want to be the kind of women. We want to be feminine women who aren't stealing the bounce, that we're magnifying the bounce. And this is why I said the way women wait for marriage is important, because you want to become the kind of person that knows how to, and using your callings and your bents, also supports and works with your husband to magnify the work of both of you, right?